Hi, I'm Karel, and I'm here with André Morys. You run one of the biggest CRO agencies in the world.
Maybe. That's what people say.
It's good.
I don't know.
And we share a lot of things. Besides our interest in growth marketing, we love food, wine, truffles.
Truffles. Yeah, we talk about truffles?
No, we talk about
Damn it.
the boring part. No, it's an interesting part.
Okay.
Conversion optimization, growth marketing. What are the most common mistakes you see optimizers do, or people that are involved in or trying to make their website better?
Yeah, I think optimizers do one big mistake, and this is they talk about all these little incremental changes, and they forget that most management wants big effects, and they have this old heuristic saying if you want a big effect, you should change something big. So that doesn't fit together. Small incremental changes and big things.
Do you believe in the small incremental
yes,
changes?
I think it's a job of a good optimizer to demonstrate the impact of a lot of small incremental changes towards the management and see, look, if we do this for 1 year, we will produce some tons of money.
That's true. But what is small? Is it design changes? Is it taking away frictions?
No, when I talk about small changes, I mean time-wise, you know, so you have the time slots of an optimization sprint is like 2 or maximum 4 weeks. And when you do that several times a year, you do a lot more than when you think in big waterfall projects. So this is what I mean with incremental change. Of course, you still need to make a difference when you change something.
And what is making a difference in
I mean,
your
finally,
experience? Because I see a lot of people, not only people who start with optimization, but also experienced one, are companies who buy a tool, the
they
A/B
always buy a
testing
tool, right,
yeah,
as a start.
and then they say, then they start changing colors and changing headlines and do a flip of left to right.
Yeah, round corners instead of whatever, ghost buttons.
Yes.
No, I think a change, you should be critical to yourself, and you should always ask yourself, if you do an A/B test, will this variation really change behavior of my customers? So that's what you want to achieve. It can be something small graphically, but it's maybe very relevant to your customers, so it makes a difference. But if you don't have that, I call it behavioral contrast, your A/B tests won't produce any results, because you're not testing the website, you're testing or you're measuring how much behavioral change you have.
That's it. And I think that a lot of people are still busy with, I don't know, I call it the outer layer of their website. That's how it looks, and it's important how it looks, but they only change the...
To be honest, they're tweaking bullshit. Yeah, can I say that?
You
they're
can
tweaking bullshit, and some people are proud that we do 10,000s of A/B tests. And I say, so what? Why don't you just do the 200 that are really relevant and push the needle forward?
I think
it's not about the amount of A/B tests you do, it's about the quality you do.
Changing behavior, very important.
Yes.
How do you get there? How do you know what to change and what will change the behavior of your visitor for that website, for that product?
You have to start to be really customer-centric, and I observe people in workshops, in our client workshops, and I analyze the words. In my mind, I count the words that they're talking, that they're using inside the workshop. And
your clients or the clients of your clients?
Our clients. Our clients, I do workshops with them. And when they're talking, I analyze the words, and I ask them, are you customer-centric, or how customer-centric are you? And they say, yeah, I would say 8 out of 10, and so on. And then I observe them for a couple of times and say, you know what? You did not one time talk about how your customer feels, what his expectations are, what are his thoughts when he is on your website, what's his inner dialogue. You're only talking about templates, buttons, colors, and headlines, and your customer does not think that way. So to be honest, I think you're 0 out of 10 customer-centric. You pretend to be customer-centric.
It always reminds me of that. There was a study in 2015, and the outcome was that 80% of companies, they claim that they're customer-centric.
But they aren't.
And then they did a survey with their clients, and only 8% of their clients say, yeah, that company is customer-centric.
That's a big gap.
And most companies don't understand that there is a big gap.
No,
that's the first problem.
That's why I published a blog post in 2011 saying you can't read the label from inside the bottle. You just don't get it. So if somebody is not, and that's the advantage that special consultants like you or we that we can provide to our clients, because we can show them what really happens. So we are like a mirror to them. Sam, you just pretend to be customer. We have some clients that have customer centricity as a core value in there, or in the lobby, in the lobby.
Because
these
feels
are the
good.
Alibi optimizers.
Okay. So those were some problems that people have on websites. That's what's holding them back to improve their websites. But I think we have to take one step back, and that is towards the companies. I think that there are a lot of things that prevent companies to grow online, or to grow in the same speed as the Amazons and the Booking.coms of this world.
Yes.
What are the most common problems there in your...
I mean, we talked about customer centricity, so this problem is already in the mind of the people. And I would say it's a big cultural issue. In my talk, I once said that optimization, the biggest optimization lever is to change the culture of your people. And I see that every day when we work with our clients and we say, let's make this improvement, and they want to do more and more and more and do it perfect. And we say, no, done is better than perfect. And they're not good in this mindset. So they would spend months for changing something.
I always think that one of the... Okay, you have your user research if you have an idea, and I think the first test, it's okay if it's a rough one, and then you can see if it's working, and then you can spend some time on refining.
Exactly, that's what we call lean, right? We use an early stage and collect data if it's worth to follow that idea. And this way of thinking, people really have to embrace and learn, and this is why I think you need like an external coach to get your optimization program up and running, so you speed up a little bit.
It's good to hear that it's a problem in Germany too. I always thought it was a typical Belgium thing, because I think that the people from the Netherlands, they dare more. Compared to Belgians.
I see optimization was adopted in the Netherlands very early, so they maybe have just a time advantage of like 2 years better maturity, whatever they. But no, I think it's the same problem everywhere.
So it's perfection, but it's also the guts to
do a big
experiment.
change.
But is it also corporate culture that withholds people working in the company, like, don't try those things because maybe we will lose some money in this experiment?
But that's normal, because companies, when they start growing and being bigger, they start to have policies and regulations and processes. So they want a stable foundation of their success. So they're not moving anymore, and that's a cultural maturity process also, and you have to realize that if you want to change it, you have to understand the reason why people think like that. Usually nobody comes to his employee and says, oh great, you made a mistake. Yeah, wonderful. No, people don't embrace mistakes, so you learn something.
It's always also the different levels of improvement in a company, I think. So that's something that Amazon and Booking.com, they don't have.
I don't know if they don't have it. I'm not aware about their culture, but I think in my definition, digital transformation means to change the culture of your people. It's not the challenge to implement a tool, it's a challenge to change the culture. That's a problem.
Do you also have silos here?
Yeah, the people have silos.
Like marketing versus e-commerce versus sales? Or
a lot of them now have product teams. So product teams are already cross-functional teams. But then the whole website is operationalized into 20 different product teams that don't talk to each other. That's the same bullshit just turned around. So if you say, let's change something across the whole customer journey on your website, they say, ooh, we don't have any team responsible for that. I just care about the search result listing. I say, oh, congratulations.
How do you try to change those companies? Because you will have the same problem. You're hired and you work on the website, and then what we feel is sometimes we're blocked by the company and we are not allowed to test certain things. And
I'm sure you are. We are blocked a lot of times when we don't talk to the management. I think lesson number one, I don't know if this saying exists in English, but in Germany you say that you always clean the stairways from up to down, right? Not the other way around. So start with the bosses and demonstrate the ROI of the cultural change. I mean, you can calculate the business case of A/B testing optimization. So you know what? That makes a couple of million euros difference. So why shouldn't we try it? and then start in a small amount and get buy-in and like spread it from there. But you need the
Definitely.
the okay from the upper management. You need a sponsor up there.
Within the company who really believes it, and the company should be open to it, and people working in the company
You should make
be
sure
open.
that they believe it, right? You can produce A/B test results, and people say, "Yeah, well, but I don't see it on my bank account, so go away."
We're talking about A/B tests. Is it A/B tests or is it conversion optimization? Is it digital growth marketing? Is it a process? Is it just gambling? What is it?
As I said, I mean, you have to sell it to the management. And if you're talking about A/B testing and the management is not really into that topic and likes scientifical hypothesis-based testing, they say, "Ooh, what's that?" So, of course, you have to sell the strategic impact of continuous optimization to the management. And then you maybe don't call it UX improvement, incremental, tiny little things we do. No.
We have a beautiful job, but we have no idea how to call our job.
Oh yeah, I know how to call it in Germany, but I don't tell it to you.
It's the little secret. So on this happy note, we finish the interview.
Wonderful.
Thank you, André.
You're welcome.